With the TI situation, if he did that, you're a fucking rat too. I don't spare no motherfucking body. Because if you doing anything wrong, you doing anything criminal-wise, and you cooperate with law enforcement to get you out of trouble, that means you're cooperating, that means you're a rat.
You have any questions for me? No. You need anything to go with you? My phone. Your phone? Where's your phone at? Your car. We're in the car. I'm not looking for phones, I'm looking for drugs and guns.
I gotta say something about this, bro. Dwayne Wade, you gone too fucking far, dog. That is a male. A 12-year-old. At 12, they don't even know what their next meal gonna be.
I had one of you niggas who have been to the penitentiary before, man. What happened when a motherfucker say somebody ain't right and they got there show their paperwork and they is right? What's the penalty for that? Can somebody tell me what is that punishable by? Somebody tell me that.
But I'm gonna tell you like this, when I saw that, I think T.I. fucking lying.
Harris is back in the news, and the buzz around him is bigger than ever. This isn't about his past troubles, like the diner arguments, his driving issues, or missing a court date. This new situation is on a whole different level.
Tell me, it been 20 years, bro. It been 20 years. I figure if I wasn't built like that, it'll show by now. It been 20 years, bro. I done faced every challenge motherfucker that like to throw at me, man. You ain't seen me fold, you ain't seen me break down.
This time, it involves a video that his child's mother is said to have released. The internet immediately started calling it a tape that questions King's sexuality, almost instantly, and before anyone could confirm if it was real, the online world exploded with talk about it. Here's what makes it so intense. For a long time, there have been quiet rumors about King's personal life. Some people online have said he acts a certain way. Others have suggested that having a child was just a way to present a certain image. This new leak has given those people new reasons to repeat the same old stories. At this point, whether the tape is real is almost irrelevant. Once the internet decides to focus on someone, it rarely moves on. And as if that wasn't enough, another rapper, Boosie, decided to get involved. Instead of making jokes about King, he aimed his comments directly at King's father.
With the T.I. situation, if he did that, you're a fucking rat too. I don't spare no motherfucking body. Because if you doing anything wrong, you doing anything criminal-wise, and you cooperate with law enforcement to get you out of trouble, that means you're cooperating, that means you're a rat.
That single move changed everything. It turned the situation from gossip about King's private life into a full-blown family conflict. Now, people online are treating it like a major drama. They're bringing up old rumors about the baby's father, questioning King's tough guy image, talking about his public outbursts, and digging up Boosie's past issues with T. The focus isn't just on King anymore. It's shining a light on everyone close to him. And honestly, people had doubts about his relationship with his child's mother long before this tape surfaced.
Get you, that's my baby, that's my baby. Get it?
On the day she said she was pregnant, many folks online were skeptical. The first thing they pointed out was her age. She is older than King. Fans quickly said things like, she knew exactly what she was doing. Photos spread of King holding the baby next to the mother. But instead of ending the doubts, the public comments became even more critical. That's when the conversation turned to money. People insisted she only had the baby to secure financial support from the wealthy Harris family. They claimed she saw the fame, the family name, and the money that comes with it, and decided to have a child to guarantee her place.
We'll go to the house on like a weekend. They'll say, hey, we shooting today. We need y'all at the house. They'll come get me from my grandma's house. And right after we done, when the cameras go off, I'm right back to my grandma's house.
Whether that was true or not didn't slow the rumors down. They spread faster than the truth. When the baby was born, it didn't quiet the speculation. In fact, it got worse. People started saying the baby didn't resemble King, adding that he was just trying to prove he was a mature man. King wasn't going to accept that. He went online, saying the baby was his identical twin, and posting comparison photos as proof. But the more he defended himself, the less people believed him. And here's where the story takes another turn. This stopped being just a question about the baby's father.
Restaurant. This ain't your fucking restaurant. Everything you make, I can pull out my pocket right now. I ain't tripping on you. I ain't tripping. Get the hell out of my face. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you. Who the hell is he? What's your name? My name King. You know it and your mama know it. Tell your mama Happy Mother's Day. Tell your mama Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. File your shit. Come back. What? On game what? On game what? Come here. Come here. I'll show you what I do. Come here. I'll show you what I do. Come here. Come here.
That's because the same critics have whispered for years that King was not being honest about his sexuality. So, when his child's mother became pregnant, the online narrative instantly became, he's just trying to prove a point. Now, with this new tape circulating, those same people are pointing back to the pregnancy and saying, see, we told you. The baby was all part of the plan to quiet the rumors. That's how extreme the talk has become. His attempts to clear his name only gave his critics new material to attack him. But let's be honest, this isn't the first time people have accused King of pretending. For years, some have said he acts like a street tough guy, when that wasn't his life at all. He talks aggressively, gets into online arguments, and acts like he came from a difficult background. But then people remember he is T and Tiny's son. He grew up with financial advantages and spent much of his youth at his grandmother's home. There's nothing wrong with that. But it doesn't match the story of someone who has struggled to survive.
Getting in my comments, telling me what to tell King, okay? I know my son. Think I ain't spoke to my son? Think I ain't told my son, his mama, and his grandmamas, his going to prison. If you got to keep this up, they're going to prison. Ain't no way around it. Ain't nothing I'm gonna be able to do about it. Can't nobody stop it but him. You know what I mean? I've already had that conversation. I've already made my peace with it. Because I know that energy. I was that energy. I know exactly how it's gonna turn out.
King goes online talking about his tough life. The comments fill up with people telling him to get real. They say he's pretending to be something he's not, and it makes his whole attitude seem unconvincing. It's as if King is fighting on two fronts, trying to prove he is a responsible man and father, while also convincing everyone he's a hardened figure from the streets. But instead of making him look strong, all this pressure seems to be making his public behavior more erratic. That erratic behavior reached a peak with the infamous Waffle House videos. King was filmed having a loud and aggressive argument with employees over his food. People online were shocked that the son of T and Tiny would act that way in public.
You have any questions for me? No. You need anything to go with you? No. Your phone? Where's your phone at? Your car. We're in the car. I'm not looking for phones, I'm looking for drugs and guns.
And T spoke about it the next day, saying he couldn't figure out why his son would argue with a restaurant worker. He said that he and King's uncles tried to talk to him, reminding him that he lives a life many people wish for, so why risk it by acting that way? But that conversation clearly didn't have a lasting effect, because things soon got more serious. In 2024, King was stopped by police in Georgia after they said he nearly hit a police car leaving a gas station. The officers said they smelled marijuana in his BMW and saw a gun on him. When they checked his information, they found an old warrant from 2022. That previous case was for speeding, driving with a suspended license, and a DUI. He had missed a court date, which is why the warrant was still active.
I gotta say something about this, bro. Dwayne Wade, you gone too fucking far, dog. That is a male. A 12-year-old. At 12, they don't even know what their next meal gonna be.
The video of his arrest was posted online, showing him being handcuffed and taken to jail. King remained calm in the video, but his fans were not calm at all. For them, this was clear evidence that his life was heading in a bad direction. Now, add the new tape rumors to this, and people started saying that the baby, the tough guy image, and the public incidents were all just a cover for a deeper issue. That's when Boosie got involved and made everything even more complicated. Instead of making fun of King, he made sly remarks about T's skills as a parent. Fans immediately understood the insult. This wasn't just about King's problems. It was a chance to embarrass T publicly. Boosie stepping into King's drama wasn't a random act. It was a calculated move with a history behind it. You see, Boosie has a long history of making bold and controversial statements, especially about people's sexuality. This is the same person who once had to make a public apology to his own daughter, Iona, after making harsh comments about her.
Had one of you niggas who done been to the penitentiary before, man. What happened when a motherfucker say somebody ain't right and they got there show their paperwork and they is right? What's the penalty for that? Can somebody tell me what is that punishable by? Somebody tell me that.
Interview 11, he posted an apology on Instagram, but most people felt he still meant what he had originally said. That's why when everyone saw him getting involved in King's scandal, they immediately called him a hypocrite, saying he should focus on his own family before criticizing someone else's. It seemed less like a joke and more like a direct attack on TI. And here's another layer. Boosie isn't exactly living a trouble-free life himself. He recently made a deal with prosecutors on gun charges, and he could still face a long prison sentence. So why was he spending time making fun of King Harris? Because this wasn't about getting attention. It was about T and a disagreement that has been building for years. To understand why Boosie couldn't resist making a comment, you have to look back to where their problem began. It all started when Boosie made harsh comments about Dwayne Wade's daughter after she shared that she is transgender. Many people online called his remarks offensive, and one of the most prominent people to call him out was T.I. T went on Instagram and told Boosie to focus on his own life and stop talking about other people's children. That moment started a feud that has only grown. Not long after, Boosie responded by accusing T of cooperating with the police in an old federal gun case. That was a serious accusation. T fired back, saying he wouldn't allow anyone to disrespect his family and made it clear he was ready to confront Boosie. From there, the insults continued. That summer, Boosie started criticizing how T parents, especially after T mentioned going with his daughter to a doctor's appointment, which caused a lot of criticism. Boosie said T was too controlling, and T responded by saying Boosie was the last person who should give parenting advice. Their exchange stopped sounding like entertainment industry banter. It became two grown men personally attacking each other. For a short time, it seemed like they had resolved their issues. Both posted online saying there was no real problem between them and that they were moving forward. But by 2023, the argument started again. This time, Boosie said T didn't support him during his own legal troubles. T.I. was blunt in his response, telling Boosie he wasn't his babysitter and wasn't going to defend someone who kept disrespecting him. That's when it became clear this was personal. Boosie held a grudge, and he was going to take any opportunity to bother T. So now, look at the timing of King Harris's scandal. It makes perfect sense. Boosie wasn't just making fun of King for no reason. He saw a chance to publicly humiliate T by using King as the subject of his jokes. With King caught up in internet rumors and viral videos, Boosie saw the perfect moment to take a shot. That's why people online immediately saw it as an attack on T.I., not King, and the public certainly got involved. Once Boosie spoke, the online trolls started attacking King Harris with full force. Some of the comments were very cruel. One person wrote, "He always looks strange to me. It's too bad he looks more like Tiny than T." That comment was particularly hurtful, because people have made fun of King's appearance since he was young. Others were even meaner, comparing him to a cartoon character. Memes and side-by-side pictures were posted all over social media, and the internet ran with it. But the comment that really stirred things up was, "King is about to be queen." That line didn't just make fun of him, it brought all the old rumors about his identity back to the surface, adding more fuel to an already raging fire. This shows that the situation is much bigger than a single leaked video. It proves that people have never stopped questioning King, no matter what he does to prove himself. For years, every decision he has made, having a baby, acting tough, losing his temper in public, has been twisted into something else. And now, with Boosie adding more drama, the conversation has shifted from simple gossip to something much more serious. The internet stopped treating it as King's personal issue and started seeing it as a reflection on T.I.'s family, T.I.'s parenting, and the long-running feud between T and Boosie. Think about it. T has worked for years to protect his reputation and keep his family together in the public eye. Now, his son is the center of a scandal that allows one of his biggest rivals to mock him. For Boosie, this was less about King's reputation and more about getting a win against T.E. and the internet. Being what it is, made it even bigger by sharing old videos and quotes, turning it into a three-ring circus. King might be the one in the spotlight, but Boosie and T are the main players behind the scenes, turning a messy situation into another chapter of entertainment industry politics. Interview 12. And here is the most complicated part. King himself seems stuck in the middle. On one side, he has to deal with constant online bullying, questions about his child, and rumors about his personal life. On the other side, His name is being used as a weapon in a feud between his father and Boosie. Every error in judgment, every rumor, every mistake becomes a public headline. And it doesn't just hurt King, it also puts pressure on T.I. For people online, this isn't just about King's choices. It's about whether T failed as a parent. That is why this scandal feels different. It wasn't just meant to embarrass King. It was designed to humiliate T.I. By the time this alleged tape was being shared, King Harris was no longer just a young man making mistakes. He had become a constant source of headlines, with every action analyzed and turned into a scandal. The most astonishing thing is how the internet never lets go. People dragged out every old rumor, every messy incident, and every poor decision to create a picture of a young man losing his way. But what's really going on is more profound. It's a clash of image, family legacy, and intense pressure. King has been trying to show he is a mature man, a father, and a strong figure. But all of these efforts keep crashing into each other and blowing up in his face. When his critics see him stumble, they don't just mock him, they feast on it. Take the Waffle House incident, for example. That one video turned from a random clip into a major online event. There were memes, reaction videos, and discussions everywhere. Instead of people seeing a frustrated young man, they used it as another reason to laugh at him for pretending to be a tough guy. Then came the arrest video. Whether he was calm or not, being handcuffed with marijuana in the car and a gun on his hip only supported the idea that he is trying too hard to live a life that isn't his. For the internet, this wasn't a simple mistake. It was proof that he is being fake. And once people decide you are being fake, they examine everything you do under a microscope. What makes it harder is that King's attempts to defend himself often make things worse instead of better. When he posted pictures to prove he was the baby's father, trolls said he was trying too hard. When he talked about being tough, people reminded him of his comfortable upbringing. Even when he stayed quiet during his arrest, his silence was interpreted as him having something to hide. No matter what King does, it seems the internet is always one step ahead, ready with a new criticism. This is the kind of difficult position that children of famous families often face. Every choice they make is either made fun of, doubted, or used as evidence for a story that never ends. But here is where it becomes more painful. The way Boosie turned this into an attack on T shows how ugly entertainment industry conflicts can be. Instead of letting King handle his own problems, Boosie saw a chance to restart his personal issue with T.I. And the reality is that disagreement has been simmering for years, with insults traded over parenting and personal integrity. Now, King's scandal gave Boosie a new platform, and the internet was happy to join in. Every sly comment Boosie made was spread around and analyzed, not because people were so interested in King, but because they were fascinated by the indirect fight between two well-known figures. And that is the most unfortunate part. King isn't just dealing with online bullies. He is caught in the middle of a feud that started long before he was involved. The internet isn't just questioning his identity or his decisions. They are using him as a pawn to judge whether T has been a good father or not. For T, who has built his career on themes of family, hard work, and respect, having his son become a public target is deeply hurtful. That is exactly why Boosie's comments are so effective. It's not just about King. It's about challenging T.I.'s entire life's work. Now, whether that tape is real, fake, or just a trick almost doesn't matter anymore. The harm is already done. The questions about the baby's father, the rumors about King's personal life, the accusations that he is pretending to be a gangster, all of it has combined into one massive online story that won't disappear quickly. King Harris has become a symbol of chaotic celebrity life, where your personal struggles are torn apart and used against your family. And unless he finds a way to change the story, everything new he does will just keep the cycle going. The internet can be brutal, and when you are the child of famous parents, the judgment is even harsher. King wanted to be viewed as an adult, strong, and his own man, but instead, he is trapped under constant examination, where trolls, critics, and even other celebrities control the narrative. And with Boosie not backing down, the issue with T will likely keep pulling King into more drama. Right now it feels like King's identity, T.I.'s legacy, and Boosie's grudge have all crashed together in one chaotic storm that shows no sign of stopping. Because in the end, this isn't just about a video or a rumor, it's about power, pride, and public image. The internet loves a scandal, and when it comes to King Harris, there is plenty to talk about. His child's mother, his public arguments, his arrests, his family troubles, his father's feuds, it's all one big public show. The only question left is whether King will be overwhelmed by the pressure or find a way to take charge of the chaos. But one thing is certain, the world is watching. The critics are waiting, and every misstep will be broadcast even louder than the last. So now, the next move is up to King. He can either seize control of his own story or let it continue to fall apart. But no matter what he does, one thing is clear. The internet won't be moving on anytime soon. And with the history between Boosie and T still in play, this drama is far from finished. Get ready, because this story isn't ending here. It's only getting started.